Hey everyone, welcome back. Angular version 21 is launched and today we are breaking down Angular 21. This release is huge and insane. Angular has added new form APIs, a new accessibility first UI library called Angular Aria, a better test runner called Vitest, big AI tooling, and of course the zoneless approach is now the default in Angular. Today I'm going to walk you through every major feature, what changed, what got removed, and how to use the new API. That also with examples. So let's get started. And if you haven't checked our website yet, go and check out right now. A lot of offers are going on, and do check out membership program too. In fact, you have lots of offers in the membership program. What are you waiting for? Go and enroll right now. You get an opportunity to get in touch with me and we can start learning all together. So go and check all of it in the description. It's time to start the video. Let's get started. This is the complete documentation, or I would say the blog for Angular version 21 that is available in the Angular documentation. If you just open the Angular version 21, or you can search it on the internet at Angular 21 blog, and you will find this particular link. Just open it up and you will check each and everything that is present there. Let's go to the documentation of Angular. Now it's written here. See, updated. This is new Angular area. We are going to look into that. Along with that, build with AI. I'm going to show you that part also. And along with that, this is the 21 release that you can simply check and understand. Even Tailwind is integrated by default. Now, what happens when we create a new project in Angular? First of all, let me show you my Angular version to you. Look at this. It's 21. And now, if I try to create a new project, let me call it Angular test, what will happen? I will get Tailwind CSS integrated by default. If I select it up, it will install the Tailwind CSS altogether directly, and we will get that in our application. So if you don't want to use SAS or something, then definitely you can go for Tailwind CSS directly, or if you want SAS to be done, then you can integrate it later, which I have already shown you in the Tailwind CSS integration video in my Hindi channel. So you can just check that out. Now let's get back to the documentation. What exactly I'm going to do? Well, I will definitely show you all the steps how to actually integrate the signal forms. These are experimental for the time being. You must have used the reactive forms as of now. These are very popular reactive forms in Angular, but now we can use signal forms. Now why it is being introduced? Because this is very cleaner, reactive, and it is easier to scale than the traditional reactive forms. Now look at the code that is written here. We don't need the form control or even form group, any value changes observable, or even control value accessor. Nothing is required. You can just execute it directly. Now let's go to our application, which I have already built with the latest version. I'm going to show you everything there. Well, this is my application in which we get Tailwind CSS integrated by default. If you check the package.json file, you will see a lot of things is already implemented here. We have also implemented Angular Area. You need to install it manually. But apart from that, everything is coming directly to us. So once it is set up properly, Tailwind CSS, we can directly use it up. So I have used it in my app.html to actually design it in such a way that what do I get? Let me just show you. I will actually get this kind of a navigation bar where I have home, Angular area, and profile. Now this Angular area and profile I have created with the help of Angular MCP Server, which I'm going to show you in the later part. But for the time being, this is our login screen. Now the login screen is designed in our home page. If you just check this out, everywhere Tailwind CSS is integrated, and with that, what have we done? Well, this also we have designed with the help of prompting. So I have Gemini integrated into our VS Code. Yes, I'm using VS Code, and I have used the extension Gemini Code Assist, which is from Google. So just install this too, and you will be able to use this kind of chat messages can be done. Along with that, you also get the vibe coding as you type along with it. Okay. Now in this, I have done a lot of things. Let me just show you one by one. This is the form which you have seen in the documentation. Okay. Just like we have email and password. So I have passed the email and password, but the email and password is not passed just like that. I am passing the validators also, which is not shown here. Here you are just directly passing in the login form. Now, what is this login form? If you hover on it, it is actually a field tree. Okay, so how this field tree is prepared, what all things you can do, you just need to pass this form function which accepts the signal value that is for the login, and along with that it also accepts the schema or options. That is what I am going to pass here as the callback. Now within this schema I can pass required function which is for the required field, and I am going to pass it one by one. First of all, for the schema.email, that is how we extract each and every property out of it. So if email is a required field, which is what we have given, if email is required and if there is any error related to that, we are going to pass email cannot be empty. Similarly, we have done it for password also. If password is required field, which we have mentioned, if it is not satisfied this condition, then definitely we are going to throw this particular error. And same way, we have done it for email and pattern also, that we normally do in a traditional reactive form, right? Up till here, everything is fine. Min length and max length also you must have used it. Okay. Same way, I have passed it here. It's very simple to actually execute. Now, along with that, I have also built a custom validator. How to do that? This is the functionality which I have passed, where I'm checking, okay, fine. If there is nothing in the text, simply return it. I don't want to go for any checking or something. If it is not a string, then also I'm going to return. But if it is a proper string, then I'm going to check whether the password is weak or not based on this particular pattern which I have prepared. So if it passes this test, then I'm going to say null. Otherwise, I'll say password must contain uppercase, lowercase and number. So this is a custom validator which I have prepared, and I have passed it in this particular manner using the validate function, passing the schema and the context here in this manner. All the things are imported here. You can simply check and execute it up. So this is what you need to do for custom validator, for normal validators, and for having our proper field. Now, in the input, you simply need to pass this field, nothing extra. You don't need to pass form control name or anything else, just simply field, that's it. And in the field, you're just passing what you're passing, login form.email, and for password, you're passing login form.password. That's the only thing you need to do. And for showing the errors, you can do it in this particular way. This is a Boolean signal which I have prepared to track it down, whether if we are going to submit, and if there is anything which is invalid, then definitely I want to show all the errors. So for that, I have prepared this Boolean signal and I am passing it here on this submit button. So if you're going for submit, you have to pass this event dot prevent default, because if you don't do that, everything will be following the default browser settings, which will go directly to the URL. Okay. Which means if you are having localhost colon 4000, whatever you submit, it will go to the URL directly, which we don't want. That is why event.prevent default needs to be passed to stop that. And I want to use the Angular features. That is why you need to do that up. This is must for the time being. I hope they get rid of this problem as soon as possible. Then this particular thing is being done for checking whether this form is valid or not. So if it is invalid, I will set this value to true. And that's it. I'm going to show the value for email and password if everything works fine. Now, these are the things which I have passed for the button. I'm just clicking on click. I'm just calling the submit functionality with the event that will be getting triggered. That's it. And type submit is necessary. You already know that in a form. I've already prepared some courses on that. You can simply check that out. So this is the basic form which I prepared. And if you check it here, just look at it. If I don't pass anything and if I click on login, I'm getting all the errors. If I pass anything of this kind, see the error is, if I pass 4-character password, then I'm getting all the errors. If I pass 6 characters also, I'm getting another error, which is not following the proper pattern. And if I pass a proper pattern, the error will go away. So that's working pretty nicely. If I hit on login, I should see the value for email and password here. There you go. This is the email and this is my password, which is coming up properly. So that's how you can work with these signal forms. Now let's get back to the next one, which is Angular Aria. Let me just scroll down. Look at this. We get by default some stylings that are available in Angular from now on, which is related to accordion, combo box, grid, menu, tabs, toolbar, tree. So all these designs are predefined. You don't have to work on it. What we used to do is we used to use Angular material earlier. For these things, we can execute directly by just installing one plugin, which is for Angular Area. I'll just click on it to open the proper documentation of it. Look at this. You just need to install it up and then directly you can use it. So in Angular Material, I think how you used to use it, well, they're not showing it up, but this is also from Area. Leave it. Just check the example at the bottom. There is some issue with the documentation. If I go to accordion, how do I use it? If I just scroll down, I should see this particular example. This is how you can directly pass the accordion. Okay. And for using it up, definitely you need to pass something in your, okay, let me just check the code anywhere. And these are the imports that you need to pass, and in the imports also at the @ component, you need to pass all of it to use it. So let me execute and show you up, which I have already done. I have created another component in which in the HTML, look at this, ng accordion group is being used and I'm passing it up. Just a simple lorem. If some text is being passed, you can just simply type in this particular manner, lorem, let's say 100, and hit enter. It will give you 100 words. You can simply have it. Okay. So this is the basic design which I have prepared, and in the TS file, all the imports are being done. Once you have all of it, what will happen? Well, if you go for testing it up, if I click here, just look at it. Trigger text is our title for the accordion. If I click here, it will show up. If I click again, it will disappear. That is how an accordion works. Similarly, you can have it for grid and all other stuff. Just check the documentation to understand what all things you can simply pass in your code and work accordingly. So this is quite nice to work with. You can design it as per your requirement and have it in a very simpler way. And if you want drag and drop option, you can use Angular CDK. There you will find it. So the best option for using Angular Area is that you can design on your own, which you don't get the option in Angular Material mostly because it is restricted to a great extent. You can't use Tailwind CSS directly because it will break the design. But here in our Angular Area, definitely you can design as per your requirement. That is the utmost benefit of using it up. And I hope in future they bring many components predefined in this Angular Area, which would be great. Now moving on to the next part, which is utmost important, is to work with the AI tools, or I would say work with the Angular tools for the AI agent. So how to actually use it? Basically, we are going to see Angular's MCP server, how to execute it up. In our project, what will happen is we have the option of using it, and I'll show you how. But if you want to check exactly how exactly it works, so you just go to the Angular documentation and search for MCP. You will find this particular link. Click on it and it will lead you directly to the Angular MCP server setup part, where what you need to do, you have all these tools that are available. You can execute these tools directly from the agent which you are going to use, and this is the command that you need to run. So let's check it out. I'm using VS Code. So in VS Code, if I run this particular command, what will happen? Let's check it out. If I hit this, it will say that please pass this particular configuration wherever you are willing to use it up. Now, if I go for, let's say, cursor, if I'm using cursor code editor, then I have to pass it where? In the .cursor folder, mcp.json file, I have to create that and pass this particular configuration. Same goes for Firebase Studio. Everything is shown where exactly I need to pass for Gemini CLI, and in VS Code, how I need to do. In the .vs code folder, I need to create mcp.json file in this particular manner where I'm going to pass this particular configuration that is shown here. Okay, but I'm using Gemini too. So in Gemini CLI, what am I going to do? I will pass it in the settings.json file. So in the .gemini, I have settings.json file in which I have passed it up. So configuration is done. Now watch closely. We need to do few things. We need to install these plugins, MCP Server for VS Code, and you can go for MCP client also, just to be on the safe side if you want to use it up. Once the configuration is done, you simply need to hit Ctrl plus Shift plus P, or in Mac, Command plus Shift plus P. Now you get the option of MCP. You can list the server, you can connect to the server or start the server. Just hit on start the server. But in my case, it is already started. Not really. Okay, I have to start it actually. So let's go for it. Start server, or I would say list servers, and this one is stopped. I want to run it up. Please start it. And as soon as I go ahead, it is starting. Okay, it has started the server and it is discovering 6 tools, which is the one which we need. Once that part is done, let's get back to our Gemini. So Gemini installation you have already done, like I showed you in the extensions. So once that is done, you have to integrate with your Google account. Just connect Gemini with your Google account with which you want to use. And if it is free for you, definitely you can use it directly. Otherwise, it won't be accepted, or you can use it for the trial phase also. Now what you need to do, you need to enable the agent mode. So let me show you my chats. So I told it that create a component called area that will hold the code given below. So basically, I actually created this particular component called area with the help of this Gemini chat. Okay. Now I want to show you something. First of all, you just start with /MCP. Now there is a problem that occurs. Now if you face this kind of an error, you have to close your VS Code and run it again. Now once I open the server again, what will happen now? If I go to the extension, I will see that Angular CLI is the MCP server which is already running. And if I go to setting, okay, let me just click on it, and you can see here it is already working. And if I click on settings, I get the option start the server or uninstall or do whatever you want to do. So sometimes you have to reload the Visual Studio Code to actually run all of it, which is already done in our case. Now what I'll do is in our Gemini chat, I'm going to just have /MCP so that we can see the list of tools that are available. So you can see here we have 6 tools from Angular CLI. Now I can directly use it for anything I want. Let me just show you a simple example. What will I do? Like what do I want to use here? Okay, redesign area component using Angular best practices. I don't need to write Angular, but still I'm using that up. And these 6 tools are, you can see Git best practices and list projects and on-push zoneless migration and whole lot of things. I will also say that use Tailwind CSS for designing already installed. Let's check it out. What happens now? If it is calling any tool, which means it is actually using the Angular MCP server to call that tool. Now just check this out. Read folder, done. It is able to read out folder properly, and it is reading each and everything one by one. All right. It is analyzing. It has reached our Angular, area.html. Now the main thing starts, editing part. So in editing, it is going to give me, okay, fine. It is designing it up and keeping our code intact. Because for the accordion group, we still have it, accordion group, accordion trigger, which is great. So it is maintaining each and everything for us. And if I accept, it is going to show me everything. Let me see the changes here, which is great. Now what's next? I'll accept, okay, fine. For the CSS, what it is doing, okay, it is passed the import also. Okay, it has removed the style URLs. No, I don't want to remove it. I want to have it. Style URLs, it was supposed to be there because we have the CSS file. If I want to use it, I can use it up directly. And look at this, list project is now called. So once they call that up, that means the tool is working properly. And it is detecting that it is an Angular application. That's great. I'm loving it. I can't delete files on run test. So test is running as of now, but it is not able to remove any file, but it's fine. I don't want to check that. I just wanted to check that whether it is working properly or not. Meanwhile, we can start running because there is no error in our code and we can check everything out. Now you can see here in the Angular accordion, this is what it is showing up, which is much better than the earlier one, but it is not actually working. Why? Let's check it out. In the HTML, what it is being done, this is our content, which is fine. All right, I think I found the error. Well, basically ng accordion content should be within the ng template, but here it changed it to div, which we don't want. So I'll change it to ng template because then only it can be toggled. So now let's check it out. It should work. Okay, fine. It's working. Great. I'm loving it. So in this particular manner, you can definitely redesign your stuff with the help of Angular MCP server integration with our AI agent. So I hope you liked all the latest features. Along with that, there are some deprecation warnings. Some things are removed, like ng4, ngif, you don't need it anymore possibly, and a lot of new things which is introduced. You have already seen that. I'm quite excited to use it in our bigger applications as we go further. So let me know in the comment section how you like this particular video. Also tell me in the comment section what all kinds of videos you're looking for in the upcoming videos. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that up. Almost 90% of you are not subscribing to the channel, but you're liking the content. Please, please, please support us. So I'm signing off for the day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.